Who want one last trip to the long trail?
So I adjusted the audio again. Let me know if it sounds fine or if I need to adjust it further. But on the topic of Tekken 8 and on the topic of Lydia Sobieska, there's whispers on Twitter, on Reddit, that this character is powerful. Pay to win DLC is the discussion that we're having once more. Now, I will admit straight up that Eddie is simply not pay to win. Yes, he is kind of strong. Yes, he has some tricky things to him, but there's many characters on the roster who does what he does, but way more deadly. So Eddie is a very balanced character in terms of Tekken 8 and is not at all pay to win. He works just like many of the other characters. Now, Lydia, on the other hand, she kinda does not. I have a few examples of what players are talking about, and I just want to quickly show you these tweets and these posts that's getting all of this attention and also traction. The first example is this move here. It's a +5 on block mix-up. It says forward 2, but it's actually running 2. You block running 2, and then you have to eat another mix-up, and then what we see after this is that it's another mix-up. A lot of players don't like that, but in my opinion, I don't think that's anything like related to Lydia in particular. I think that's more so the direction that Tekken 8 is in. This game is all about mix-ups and just straight up aggression. So her having this +5, to me, it seems pretty normal in consideration of what every other character has. Now, another thing that players are talking about, and this one actually slipped my radar. I was too busy complaining and crying about the Tekken Talk being boring to see and realize that they in fact gave Lydia a 2-2-2 combo. You know how Eddie had a 3-3-3? Here's the tweet of the clip where Michael Murray and Nakatsu explains it.
But it looks complex, but it's not. Nakatsu is just jamming on that one particular button. So I guess you could say it's comparative to Eddie's LK combination that he does.
Before they even confirmed that Lydia will have a 2-2-2, I did just notice that there was a lot of 2 pressing going on during this whole thing, but to see that is confirmed, I mean, it's just not what we want to see. We don't want to see like they already have special styles being buffed, so we don't want to see more and more characters become like a walking embodiment of special style. I really like how Street Fighter has the classic, the normal Street Fighter you expect, but then if you want the training wheels, you go play Modern Controls, and I do it all the time. My Modern Control JP is the next level, but you separate it. Tekken 8 is more and more blending the 2 modes, and a lot of people don't like it. But another thing that players are talking about in terms of Lydia. Now, what Lydia has is these stacks, I believe it's called, or installs. I can't remember the name. Basically, Brian Fury has it, Eddie has it, Asuka has it. There's many characters where after a combo or after a mix-up, they do a little pulse and they get this. I'll just call it a stack. Now, normally in Tekken 8, after the round ends, the stack disappears. And for Lydia, at least what they showcased with us, the stacks roll over to the next round. So either one, she will be the only character who has her stacks roll over to the next round, or 2, in the next update, every character will do this. So this is the thing, we have to wait and see which path they're going, but so far as it stands, Lydia is the only character who can do this. As we go through each example, you can see how the odds is stacking up against Lydia and why people feel like this character may be pay to win. But the one that Michael Murray responds to is this one here. Breaking down this attack, so I'll go ahead and let a segment of that play, and then we'll pick up with Michael Murray's tweet after the fact.
A lot of people feel that this low is pay to win. This kick right here tracks.
This is the only move in the game that operates this way. And a lot of people feel like, bro, that's not fair.
When IGN originally showed Lydia's gameplay, everyone noticed Lydia's tracking low. Kaiser adds to this and says, I thought we were getting rid of homing unseeable lows from neutral, but I see now the plan is just to give it back to the DLC characters. Very cool. So once again, something that only the DLC characters can do and no one else can do. Now, Landon D tags Michael Murray and Michael Murray responds. They have a little bit of a back and forth in the comment section. Michael Murray says, what do you mean? You had an opportunity to play the character already? Speculation is always the fun part about new characters. You're such a buzzkill man. Landon D responds and says, this screenshot is from a YouTube video. What buzz has been killed? I just want to talk. Michael Murray says, that's the point, isn't it? You haven't played it yet. Despite what others say in the comment, I'm excited to fight against the character. I just wanted to talk. But it isn't about Lydia. Something that I first want to note about this, a lot of players feel like Michael Murray's responses is very hostile, and I mean, to a certain point, I get where they're coming from, but also at the same time, I get where Michael Murray's coming from. But the point is, when you're representing a company, a lot of people feel like you should, like the customer's always right kind of mindset. And for Michael Murray to just be like, have you played the character yet? Well, what are you talking about kind of mentality? It just makes a lot of people feel like Michael Murray either one, shouldn't be responding, or two, he needs to give better responses. The thing about this is, so Tekken is a very complicated game, but a lot of people spent a lot of time understanding this complex game. And we can see something, we can be told something, and just knowing how the game operates, we can come to a very concrete conclusion of whether or not that is powerful. I mean, taking into consideration the Tekken talk that they did, right? None of us played the character, but we watched the Tekken talk. We've seen what they said, and we can form our own ideas and conclusions around what they're showing us. And that IGN video is the same way. This low tracking to both directions, no other unseeable, unreactable low does that in Tekken 8 besides Lydia, and that's a fact, right? Unless this update is going to buff characters and make other characters do the same thing, Lydia is the only one. And I don't know what Landed D like is saying, I want to talk, but it's not about Lydia. I don't understand that direction of the conversation. But Markman shows up and he says, whenever something is an issue, people tag/address Michael Murray. And while it may seem funny and help generate attention, it's pretty bad to be on the receiving end like that. Michael Murray says, I pretty much ignore X recently, but I don't like people who try to ruin the fun for everyone else. And there is kind of a duality to this. I feel like every time something goes wrong, people do blame Michael Murray. And then we always are sitting here talking about how Michael Murray's this and, you know, players are saying that and that's messed up. And really this whole cycle of people turning on Michael Murray started with the whole, why sidestep the hell sweep when you can just block? That one interaction embedded the idea into everyone's mind that Michael Murray's the target. If something goes wrong, attack Michael Murray. If something goes right, thank Harada. And I feel like that correlation is so messed up. If something's wrong, all of the developers are at fault. And I love Harada because he takes accountability for that. Michael Murray doesn't really talk that much on Twitter, but I'm assuming the same thing is true, right? Those two guys are on the same page. If Harada takes accountability, I'm pretty sure Michael Murray is going to be the same way, right? So just this whole back and forth between attacking the developers, more specifically Michael Murray, I personally don't like it, but at the same time, I think Michael Murray could do better. His final tweet on this, it says, people reading too much into my tweets, LOL. I like posts that aren't negative clickbait, posts that are good for the community, posts from genuine people. That's all there is to it. Most of all, topics that interest me. That's what the like button is for anyways. And this is in response to, once again, a lot of people saying you need a PR team, Michael Murray, you know, sleeping face lol, and whatever else people can think about as they're button mashing onto their keyboard. But the fact of the matter is, whether or not Lydia is truly OP, we will have to wait until the character comes out. July 25th is when the character drops, and I mean, so far, what everyone has discovered from the 2-2-2 combo, the stacks are rolling over to the next round, the tracking low, and then a +5 on block. The character seems pretty different from other characters. I won't say strong just yet because we have to see where she falls in terms of win rates, balancing, tier list, tournaments performance. This is going to be a long journey for Lydia, and we're really just getting started. The character isn't even out yet, and all of these ideas that you see being expressed is, in my opinion, a part of the whole releasing a character thing, right?